Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with Survival Tips Thursday. I'm going to talk to you about some survival tips that you can consider just in case with little money, okay? These are some things that it's important for you to kind of be aware of in case of emergency. Every week I go over, several survival tips. Last week I went over 20. I think I'm going to go over like 21 today, but I'm going to go through them real quick. This is just some things that you can think about just in case, God forbid. Basic plumbing knowledge. Assist in finding and purifying water sources. You can go online and kind of find out what kind of emergency kit you can put together and have to the side, or have the things ready to the side in case you had to, in case it was necessary for you to have a backpack, okay, and flee, or you didn't have, or there was a problem with the water or something like that. Vehicle repair. If stranded with a vehicle, this skill can be a lifesaver. A lot of us aren't into that, but just knowing the basics is kind of important. Radio operation. It enables you to communicate for help if a radio is available. Well, what I usually do is keep a transistor radio. You can't really talk back and forth with anybody, but it's you can, you might be able to tune into some stations or some ham operators, on the AM channels, to keep abreast of what's going on in case you didn't have access to like FM radio or something like that, or FM, what is it, high def or something like that. Map reading and orienting. Helps in finding your way to safety or civilization. Yeah, I keep maps. I collect maps. Every state that I go to, I always get maps from that state. I go to the visitor center and get maps. That's always important. I get the hard copy maps, because what are you gonna do if your phone device doesn't work? You need to know your east from your east from your west, and your north from your south too, so that you can have your bearings. If you're trying to get a specific place and you don't exactly have a map, you need to know your direction. The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. You might have, might be a little bit more complicated figuring out north and south, depending, Stealth and camouflage. Useful for avoiding danger or hunting for food without being detected. Weather prediction. Helps you prepare for changing weather conditions and extreme elements. Well, good luck with that one. But I think there's different ways you can kind of tell. Just go online and get some ideas about that. Soil still construction. Extracts water from moisture in the ground, essential in arid environments. You just kind of go online and look for some of the things that I'm talking about. This is just giving you ideas of things that you might want to consider just in case of emergency, God forbid. Basic electrical skills. Useful for repairing or creating simple electrical devices. I know most people aren't going to do that. I had a friend that was a electrical engineer, and so he taught me kind of how to data cable wire, but that's not my thing. But I did do that for a little bit. Hopefully we won't need those skills. Hopefully we won't need those skills. Mechanical skills can help you make basic repairs to equipment and tools. Unfortunately, you just want to have a basic knowledge of it. I've had to break down machines and put them back together when I worked in pharmaceutics and the manufacturing side of it. So, but you just got to be aware. Just be aware. It's not something I want to do. It's not my favorite thing to do. Yeah. Electrical and mechanical is not my favorite things, but just having a basic awareness about it, because in case you need to know a little basics about it. Wild edible cooking techniques. Maximizes the nutritional value of wild foods like, plants and things of that sort out in nature that are safe to eat. Just kind of look it up online. You can get an idea. God forbid we get to that point. But I'm just giving you some ideas. Preservation techniques. Smoking and drying extends the lifespan of food resources. I think we can all kind of understand that. Psychological resilience. Now this one should be at the top of your list, okay? Because when it's a crisis, people don't act the same. People don't act the same right now, and it's not that, and you know, it's a crisis situation in parts of the world, but not everywhere. It's, people still don't know how to manage their emotions. They're still over the top. So, you know, it helps you to stay calm, focused, and positive in high stress situations. You don't want to be out there panicking, even though it's bad, because you want to be able to think straight. And you panicking and getting up all excited and upset is just going to make other people more upset and excited. So you need to try to stay calm if you can. Improvised weapons training, you know, provides means of self-defense in emergency situations. Just, you know, you understand that. Just have something. God forbid you need anything. Just have something. CPR and basic life support. It's crucial for saving lives in medical emergencies. I used to keep, every year I had to certify for Red Cross training, you know. So, I mean, everybody should know the basics. Make sure you have a first aid kit, you know, just the basics, you know. It don't cost much for little first aid kits. You can start, I think you get them at the Dollar Tree or somewhere inexpensive, you know. Animal tracking can help in locating food sources or avoiding predators. Yeah, you know, my dad, he was a hunter, and so me and my brothers grew up in the wilderness, you know, doing wilderness type stuff. Like they grew up hunting. They wouldn't let me hunt, but I could go with them. But I had to stay back wherever we were staying. But I grew up fishing. You know, my dad let me fish, so that was something that I continued on, and I raised my boys to fish and stuff like that. So that's important because you might have to, you know. Teamwork and leadership. It enables you to work effectively with others in survival groups. I think we all understand that because that's going to be important. Situational awareness helps you anticipate and respond to potential threats or dangers, you know. Basic mechanics allows for the repair and maintenance of mechanical equipment and tools, you know. And that's the one thing that I had my sons. I made sure that they participated in activities and you know, where they were putting things together and taking apart. So now they can do all those things, even though, you know. So that's something that's very important. And if you have children, you should get them involved in activities where, you know, they know how to have a basic awareness of how to put things together, just in case, you know. That might not be your thing and it's not mine, but it's okay to have a basic awareness of it, just in case. Basic electronics knowledge. I suck in electronics. I suck when it comes to electronics. But it's useful for repairing and modifying electronic devices. Now I probably had to get some, you know, find somebody else to help me with the electronics part of it, you know. Foreign language proficiency could be helpful in communicating with non-English speaking crisis. That speaks for itself, okay? Familiarity with local flora and fauna helps in understanding available resources and potential threats. Basic geology knowledge are useful for finding water sources, minerals, and shelter materials, okay? But anyway, I just, those are things that you can do, and a lot of them don't cost money. You know, I would kind of brush up on stuff. Well, I'll be back with you next Thursday and go over the survival tips again. I'm just gonna, once I get to a certain point, then I'll just go back and rotate, and this will be just you know, this is just a weekly thing that I do every week. Some of the other channels, I've started it, you know, all of this stuff, you know, months ago. So, but that's what I do on Thursdays. I have a schedule for things that I do every week on the channel. Anyway, I want you to remember to smile this day anyway, and reach out to one person at a time. One person at a time. One person at a time. Okay?